competitive aspects, but also it looks like this game will have an unprecedented amount of offline single-player style content. It's going to have an entire giant campaign mode where you go through this world circuit as a created fighter, and that created fighter gains abilities based on who you defeat and stuff like that. It's going to be really neat, and I don't think we've seen a Street Fighter game like this before, all right? In addition, this game apparently is going to have a bunch of content that's never, again, been in a Street Fighter game. One of the things that's going to happen, they're going to have people doing commentary in the game. I don't really understand this, but I guess what happened is what they're doing is they're getting people to basically pre-record lines, all right? And then as you play the game in matches, those lines will be played during a match. So let's say, for example, you're playing in a match and all of a sudden you land a giant combo. A commentator will come in and be like, whoa, that's an amazing damage combo, blah, blah, blah. You know. Now, fighting games usually always have had commentary like that. Only it's like a narrator or an announcer, right? So I guess with this one, what they're going to do is they're going to actually have various different people from all over the place record these kind of lines. And those lines will play during matches. So some of the names they've already announced are people from the fighting game community. Like, you know, notable fighting game players and or notable fighting game commentators are already going to be doing lines for the game. So if you like that commentator because you watch a certain live stream and they commentate on it, then maybe you want to enable their voice in Street Fighter 6 because you like their commentary style, right? Now, I don't know. I personally, I haven't watched a fighting game stream in 10 years. So I don't know who these commentators are. I don't know what their commentation style is, nor do I know if I would like them. What I'm thinking is I'm just going to leave it on default. Like, I don't really care about the commentary when I'm playing the fighting game. It's like the last thing I'm paying attention to. I'm paying attention to the game, right? But apparently there was a big announcement last night that, I guess, in Street Fighter 6, there's going to be a pro wrestler, a female pro wrestler. Her name is Zelina Vega, and she's a cosplayer as well. Not only does she wrestle, but she cosplays as various different video game characters. And she's cosplayed as, like, Street Fighter characters before. So they hired her to do commentary for Street Fighter 6. And it's funny, because I see some people who are, like, freaking out about this. And they're like, oh my god, did you see they advertised Street Fighter 6 on WWE pay-per-view last night? And Zelina Vega came down to the ring dressed like Juri from Street Fighter 6. And I'm like, okay. Great. I mean, good for her. She got a job, right? But is she known for Street Fighter gameplay? No. Has she ever commentated on a Street Fighter tournament before? No. Does she even know anything about high level or any gameplay, competitive play in Street Fighter? No. She cosplays. She's a cosplayer. And that's fine. I'm not shit-talking cosplayers. Just saying, she's a cosplayer. So it's hilarious that I hear people freaking out. Did you hear? This is amazing. This is a giant step for Street Fighter. This is going to blow it out of the water. How exactly? What exactly does this add to the game? I mean, yeah, if you want just another voice saying, wow, look at that move, look at that reversal, look at that combo, or whatever she's going to say. Great, but this isn't really, like, a big deal. Just like I don't think that the commentators now, the people who commentate on the streams, oh, their voices are going to be in the game? That really doesn't add anything to me either. Like, I just kind of like, fine, I guess. Again, if you're a super fan of this wrestler, maybe you'll like this and maybe you'll buy the game. But to me, it's kind of like, I don't see the selling point. I'm a little confused about the commentary, to be honest. Like, adding in a giant, robust story mode where you create your own character who levels up over time, that's cool. That means Street Fighter will have a mode that doesn't appeal to competitive fighters, but other people might buy the game now. Do you see? That's cool. Because not everyone wants to play a fighting game at a high-end competitive level, but they still want to feel like they're getting their money's worth. When you buy a game from NetherRealm, right, like Injustice or Mortal Kombat, you get a very lengthy, interesting story mode, and then you usually get an offline mode, like the Crypt or whatever it may be called in the particular game, where offline players who aren't caring about competitive play online get a ton of quality content out of the game. It seems like that's what Street Fighter's going for, okay? I get that's really cool, but I guess my question is, what does this commentary system add exactly? Because now they're spending money. It's one thing if, oh, we got a few people for the community or whatever. Now they're actually getting pseudo-celebrities and stuff to do it. You know, who's next? If she's in there, I guarantee you they're going to pay for more people, too. You'll probably have a few more people they're going to pay to do the commentary for this game. But what does that add? I'm a little confused. Like, if anything, especially if it's like a celebrity name, right? Isn't that distracting? Like, imagine you're playing the game, you got celebrity doing the commentary, right? It would be kind of annoying and distracting, I feel. I mean, half the time the narrators slash commentators in the matches of fighting games are annoying. So, I don't know. Carlton Jr. says, I see it as a way to advertise. It gets people to want to watch fighting game streams in Capcom Pro Cup. How exactly? Like, if that person, for example, maybe if this pro wrestler was actually at the tournament doing the live commentary, that would add something. At the same time, again, she's not a known fighting game player at all. She probably wouldn't even understand the competitive play, and that's not a slight against her. She's a cosplayer, and Capcom decided to hire her to do commentary for the fighting game, even though, obviously, since she won't understand the high-level play, she'll add nothing to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't get that. And again, I don't have the problem with her doing it. I have a problem with the whole system. The whole commentary system seems very weird that they think this is going to add anything to the game. It's since the moment they announced it, it was confusing to me that this is a feature of the game. Like, I was very, like, scratching my head, like, how does this add anything? You know? Oh, I agree there. Carlton Jr. says a lot of kids and new players will be introduced to fighting games and fighting game culture with this game. Fighting games, yes, but I think you want to keep them away from fighting game culture. I'm just being honest. If anything, take a look at the nonsense that happened in the last year, the drama and the shit in the fighting game community. I don't think you want your kids and new players exposed to that. Keep them as far away from that as possible, all right? Games in general, let them play Street Fighter 6, let them enjoy Street Fighter 6. Keep them away from the FGC bullshit. You don't want them to get their heads up there, that asshole. Seriously. Anyway, so my whole point here is it was cool. I guess it got them some mainstream advertising during a WWE event to do this, but I don't really see, like, for example, I'll give you an example. Do you know who actually is in the fighting game community? Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega is hugely in the fighting game community. He attends Street Fighter tournaments every once in a while. He plays fighting games. Is he great at them? No, but he likes them. He's a lifelong fighting game player. AJ Styles, he also is a lifelong video gamer and fighting game player. He probably knows a lot, you know, fucking, of course, oh my God, why am I, Xavier Woods, duh, Xavier Woods runs Up, Down, Down, a freaking YouTube channel about video games where he's done fighting game stuff before. So any of the guys from that channel, like Xavier Woods, Cesaro, who now goes by, his own name, Claudio Castagnoli, Tyler Breeze, right? And a few others too. Any of them do play fighting games. They're not pro level, but they play fighting games. To add that commentary in there, right, would be probably make sense. They'd probably add a level of hype and they would actually understand what's going on in the game, yet they hired the cosplayer. I'm confused. Again, no slight against her being a cosplayer. I'm just saying it was a weird choice. It was a very weird choice that's what they decided to have to be the commentator. But again, maybe they're just going for name recognition or something. I don't know. I really don't know. Oh, you know who else is a heavy gamer? Shayna Baszler, as well, is a heavy gamer, because I've seen her on Up, Down, Down and stuff like that. So it's not just about, it has to be a guy. Absolutely not. It could be a woman as well who's a gamer but would understand what's going on. I'm very confused who they selected for this. But anyway, again, if someone wants to explain to me how the system really will work and if it adds anything to the game, if anything, I'm curious. What I might do is when I buy the game, try a few different voices as a sampling and see how it sounds. But I don't think it's gonna, I don't even, I'm gonna notice. I couldn't even tell you what the commentator in Street Fighter 6 sounds like. I don't think, the two betas I've played, I don't think I even noticed. I was so hyper-focused on the gameplay, right? Moxer is the point I'm making. He says, the way you're saying it doesn't sound right. She cosplays, but she's probably a gamer as well. There's a difference between I play video games or I actually understand competitive fighting games. You see the difference I'm saying? Xavier Woods understands competitive fighting games. He plays them. AJ Styles understands competitive fighting games. He plays them. Kenny Omega definitely understands competitive fighting games. He plays them. They've gone to tournaments. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference between hire those people because they'll add something versus, I hired the cosplayer. Do you see the difference? And again, no slide against her, but I'm very confused. Okay.